Welcome back. You're watching Rise and Shine Grenada. Of course, you're viewing us live on MTV and Magic FM and also on Facebook. So those of you in the diaspora watching us this morning, we say good morning. Remember, if you're celebrating your birthday, your anniversary, or whatever it is you're celebrating today, feel free to send us a message on Facebook, or you can send the greetings on our WhatsApp number. It's 405-5718. That's 405-5718. If you're just visiting us, or if this is the first time you're going to be tuning in, remember it's every Monday and Wednesday. We're on at 7 a.m. So first guest in studio is Mr. Magdy Martinez Soliman. He is the newly appointed UNDP representative, and it's his first visit to Grenada. So we say welcome to Grenada.
Thank you so much.
All right. So we're going to get down into meat and matter now. All right, no more joking time, no serious business. We'll joke a little bit later. All right, so tell us exactly, for those who don't know what the UNDP is, just tell us exactly in summary what the UNDP is.
Well, thank you very much for having me. UNDP is one of the largest UN organizations. So in the United Nations, some people do stuff with children, that's the UNICEF colleagues, stuff with women, that's UN Women, or stuff with health or with agriculture, that's PAHO or FAO. We do development, so we are the development program. We have a number of pillars in which we work. We're strong on climate, we fight poverty, we work on governance, and we do a lot of recovery. In the Caribbean, that's particularly relevant because of the hurricanes, so we're kind of first responders and soon and quick on our feet when there is a problem, to be part of the people who provide support. So that's basically the remit, and as I say, it is a large UN organization that provides assistance to governments and to communities alike.
All right, so you're in Grenada. Tell us a little bit about your visit.
Well, it was a very, very successful visit that is continuing today. Of course, this is a, shall we say, a protocol-heavy visit because it's my first time in country. I arrive in the capital, I have to do courtesy calls on the very, very important senior officials. So I saw the Honorable Prime Minister, I'm seeing the Governor General this morning. I see the ministers who have to do with our line of work. And then you see civil society organizations, and they have the opportunity to interact with the media to perhaps reach out to wider audiences. We try to engage with youth, we try to be active with professionals, with academic circles. So it's a broad kind of visit, but as you know, in my job, it's meeting back to back. And you try to take in as much information as possible because precisely it's the first time I'm here, need to learn and find out what the priorities of Grenada really are.
All right. So in your realm of work, you've been engaged in a series of meetings and so on. What you say is some of the biggest challenges in the meetings, the reports you've been receiving, whether it's preliminary or not, some of the biggest issues that come out.
Well, you won't be surprised if I say climate change and the economy, right? That's a biggie. In particular, the Honorable Prime Minister and several of the ministers, in particular the ministers responsible for youth, pointed at the issue of young people and their exit strategy from the education system into the professional world. So the access to the labor market, the succeeding in becoming a professional, in having a career, in getting a good job. That seems to be a bottleneck in the country. We're talking about 3,000–4,000 jobs that are needed for younger generations, and that would alleviate a lot the pressure on the labor market. That has been highlighted by several of the people we have been talking to. There was a second element that came up in conversations was intra-family violence, issues that have to do with gender-based violence, violence against women, sometimes against children. That's a concern for the authorities. I think it's a concern for the society at large, for civil society organizations we have spoken to. The second issue that was also big there. And then I think that in general Grenada is doing quite well on a number of records. You know, public health is doing well. We have been speaking about national health insurance and how that could evolve to provide a better public health care service to the citizenry. But in general, I would say that the macroeconomics, you know, the big figures of the economy of the country are rather stable and rather in a good place.
All right, awesome. Okay, so we know we're probably in the last 2 months of the year, I'm sure there are some success stories that came out from the year. As you wind down the year, although you're the newly appointed representative, of course, there must be information that was filtered to you. So tell us about some of the successes, if there's any one success that the UNDP would have had, in particular for the Caribbean region, what would that success be?
Well, let's say it is a success that I speak about with mixed feelings, because it's a success in the middle of duress. I think we were very, very quick on our feet and very responsive when Dorian hit the Bahamas. That would be one of the issues that I would highlight. The government of the Bahamas received immediate support from a number of Caribbean countries. CIDEMA was one, the governments of the region too, but UNDP and the UN at large, I'd say a good number 3 in providing immediate support. And that is important because it shows human solidarity, but also professionalism in the way we are addressing climate crisis and dangerous climate change. Let me highlight, it's not a success story of UNDP, but a good thing for the region, is that the hurricane season has been relatively benign. Taking advantage of this nice table, I touch wood, but because it's not over, and it's not over until it's over. But I think that for now, the season has been relatively calm, and we have been able to, keep our preparedness going without having to jump, except precisely in the Bahamas. And there, the impression is that both the government, CIDEMA, the governments of the region, and the UN system were very quick in providing assistance.
Okay. Before we wrap it up with you, anything else you'd like to add? We know you probably have a very tight schedule today, so we don't want to take up much of that time. But is there anything else you'd like to touch on of importance?
No, thank you very much. I like the program. I hope to be back when I have a little bit more information, more stories to tell.
But always feel at home.
Thank you.
It wouldn't be the first visit, I'm telling you that. Normally when I say that, people tend to come back the next day.
Okay, well, that's already a success story for UNDP. Thank you very much.
All right, so we were just speaking to the UNDP representative. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back,